Hi besties, and we back. Word around the hood is that there's a certain different demographic of human beings that want to make their own little town. Mind you, I'm not against this, you know. There's sundown towns already. The KKK leaders are still being funded by the government. Whatever, correct? So this ain't nothing new. This is just something that I guess we care about more. And I'm also, why am I just now finding out that y'all are just now finding out about MLK and Malcolm X being in cahoots and actually seeing eye to eye, but they got assassinated? Y'all, okay. I went to a historically black middle school named Sojourner Truth Academy, North Minneapolis. If you know, you know. Hey, Miss JJ girl. Anywho, yeah, that's old news, friends. We should have already known that. Now, if you grew up in the South, I understand why you probably didn't know, because like in the South, some stuff that I've heard from other people who went to school in the South. I only went to a school in Florida that one time at band camp. Based on the history that y'all learned there, I can understand how some southern states could actually be teaching, because when I took American history there, I was like, yeah, what's going on? I think I was a junior, so yeah, it was a crazy time. But that's not the point. My point is, how y'all just now finding this stuff out? Not rule number one. First things first, baby, we could go ahead and start making our own communities. I've been wanting to make my own community since I was 7 years old. Whole little gated community, doctors, lawyers, teachers, children, all that. All I'm saying is, we not fighting hard enough for segregation again. Okay, we not fighting hard enough. Okay, can't take away our rights if we have 4 connected states back to back to back. They can't have all 50 states. We were here first. We know we were here first. They know we were here first. All I'm saying is, pick a side. Because at the end of the day, like, if we're going to be doing this, if we're going to actually sit in a demographic of people where this is an all specific brand of people, city, town, area, that's fine. If that's what y'all want to do, that is perfectly fine. I'm down for it. I'm so down for it. But as far as the whole MLK, you know, realizing at the very last minute that they were using him for propaganda and that he was really genuinely only there to bring down how strong our community was, because we were bringing in the most dollars, we had the most savings. Like, when things was going crazy for everybody else, we was cool, calm, and collected, because we didn't have all of this bullcrap stipulations that was going on. And the sucky thing about this is, when I was younger, I used to talk about how I don't want to protest no more. I don't want to sit and walk with signs in my hands. This is when I was like 16, 17. Mind you, I was in an activist group called the Green Berets. I was PL 47. If you know, you know. Shout out to all of the people that was in there. RIP to our homies that we lost. But our soldiers, I should say. But at the end of the day, I've walked with activists. I've been in rooms where I've spoken with mayors and senators and, you know, secretaries of states and stuff like that. Like, I've been in areas and rooms where there's big names, big wigs, and people who want to listen to what I have to say. And although I did not pursue politics, because I know that the type of person I am, politics, they would have assassinated me. They would have assassinated me. I'm ahead of the game. I've been ahead of the game. Nobody wanted to listen to me when I was in my teenager years, because they're like, well, what do you know about this, and that? Baby, I know a lot. I just choose to shut up, because when I talk, nobody listens, because a lot of the people who are older than me, who could put this stuff in play, see me as a child. Don't know why. Don't even really care. All I know is we're awake now, and we're all changing our mindsets. That's been my goal. Once you change your mindset, once you realize that individually as a people and collectively as a people, that mentality matters and the way that we look at the world matters, it starts to wake up people. Finally, you guys are waking up. Thank you. I thought I was going to be like this my whole life and nobody was ever going to understand me, and I was just going to have all these smart brainiac thingies that's going on. You know, shout out to all the people that have taught me. Shout out to all the people who were old enough to teach me and I actually listened. But honestly, people my age, people who are 10 years older than me, people who are 5 years younger than me, I'm so happy that they are starting to wake up and realize that we actually need to change our mentality, and the way we change our mentality will help us change our ways. Now, A lot of us are still afraid to quit that job. A lot of us are still afraid to invest in that land. A lot of us are still afraid, and some of us are broke. No judgment here. Being broke is a thing. Some of us are still afraid to take that step forward because we're like, well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? They're afraid of us uprising. And by they, I don't just mean white people. I just mean people who are in charge, who do not want anybody to be bigger than the program. Oh, you think you're bigger than the program? Where y'all think that came from? Samuel Jackson didn't just wake up one day and, and say that for the hell of it. These are things that have been said in the history of time. It's a program. Why do you think they program us to believe that we can't do this? You ever wonder how they condition our minds? So imagine the movies, right? The movies we watch. A lot of movies that we watch, they're like, oh, everybody that's important in the movie besides one person has to die. Why is that? Why can't we ever have a movie where a group of demographics of same race, different race of people can survive the whole movie? You want to know why? Because mentally, there can only be one. There can only be one. Why in a lot of Black history do they only teach and show slavery? They started with slavery. They don't start it with us being free. They don't talk about Mansa Musa. They don't talk about people that are kings and queens. They don't even talk about people from Egypt. They talk about slavery first, the civil rights movement second, and then they go on to the crack epidemic and all these terrible things, because they're conditioning our minds to think one way, so we never wake up and we never pay attention to the possibilities of the things that we can actually go through. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you got to wake up and pay attention. Sister Act 2, Lauryn Hill, all of that, you got to pay attention. I think it's really important that we teach ourselves and our children and people around us who we love and who we want to start uplifting properly, that yes, you can be one track minded and get nowhere. And yes, you can be multiple track minded and also get nowhere if a society of people who you love and know that have the smarticles but aren't using their smarticles. That is also a thing. But we're at this point in reality and in society where we just need to stick together. Like, it sucks because we do have some people who are conditioned to think like, oh, I'm better than you, or oh, we're not going through the same struggle. The saying all skin folk ain't kinfolk, that's true too. No shade, no tea on interracial dating. It's just like, at the end of the day, there are so many different things that are in the way, but those things are not impossible to either maneuver around or continue to move forward from, to make sure that people from a specific society can continue to live their lives. Now, all I'm saying is they like to stick together. And by they, I just mean people who want to see the world corrupted and who want to keep the world corrupted. They like to stick together. It doesn't matter what they're doing, how embarrassing these people can become, what's in front of them, what's stopping them. It doesn't matter. They like to stick together. So if they like to stick together, why can't we do it? Everybody ain't got to be in control. And everybody who is in control don't always have to tell everybody what to do. I know. Well, how is it going to? Because we're all free people who can, well, free-ish now. We're all people who have our own brains that can think. Common sense is very much common to everybody. It's just some of y'all don't use it because y'all don't think that it's supposed to be this way. When you have gut feelings, when your heart jump a little bit in the back of the hairs and the neck stick up, and you think, I don't think I'm really supposed to be here at this party, and then you see Wan and Kenneth get into it, and you hear him say, bet, you know to get going, because your instincts and your intuition and your common sense is telling you something crazy is about to happen. Or if you're at the mall and all of a sudden you just get this eerie feeling and you're just like, yeah, I'm ready to go home, and then when you get home 20 minutes later you hear about it being a mass pew-pewing because your instincts told you, let's get the fuck on and get out of here. Y'all, I don't want us to be victims, and when we finally are victims, because we already being victims, we're already in the victim mentality, we're already in the victimizing state. They're already changing laws which we can control. They're already doing things behind our backs that we can actually stop. It should not take for a massacre or another Holocaust or another slavery to happen for us to wake up and pay attention. We've already got the tools to what's going on. If y'all want to make your own communities, make your own communities. If y'all want to, we already got a lot of inventors and people who are doing things that can make things out of things, like that young man who can make oil out of trash, gasoline out of trash, who can make gasoline out of trash. We already have inventors. We already have little children, little black boys and girls who have the highest GPAs, and it's been in the making. We have all the tools. They work for NASA. They work for all these companies, baby. We are the company. We are the blueprint. When are y'all gonna wake up and actually do something about it?
All right, besties, you already know what to do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on all social media platforms, and tune in next time for another Midnight Modules. Bye.